In the highest layers of fictional power scaling, battles are no longer decided by strength, speed, or even intelligence. At this level, power is defined by authorship over reality itself. This matchup is not about who punches harder or who destroys more worlds. It is a confrontation between two beings who decide whether worlds should exist at all. On one side stands Franklin Richards, Marvel's ultimate reality creator, a being whose imagination alone can give birth to entire universes. On the other stands the Darkest Knight, DC's most terrifying corrupted god, a fusion of Batman's intellect, Joker's nihilism, and Dr. Manhattan's omniversal power. One represents infinite potential and creation. The other represents inevitable decay and narrative collapse. This is not simply a Marvel vs. DC battle. It is a philosophical war between hope and nihilism, between the future of existence and the certainty of endings. When these two forces collide, the multiverse itself becomes the battlefield. Franklin Richards, the child who creates reality. Franklin Richards is not powerful because of training, technology, or stolen cosmic energy. He is powerful because reality itself responds to him. As the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, Franklin was born with abilities that surpassed the limits of even Omega-level mutants. His power is not confined to altering matter or energy. Franklin can rewrite the fundamental laws that govern existence. He has created entire pocket universes from nothing, complete with their own timelines, physical rules, and cosmic hierarchies. Throughout Marvel history, Franklin has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to reshape reality subconsciously, often without fully understanding the scope of what he has done. Cosmic entities such as Galactus have recognized Franklin not as a threat, but as a future constant of existence itself. In certain futures, Franklin survives the death of the universe and exists beyond entropy, rebuilding reality after everything else has ended. His power is not aggressive by nature. It is creative, adaptive, and limitless in potential. The only true weakness Franklin has ever shown is emotional restraint. Marvel frequently suppresses his abilities because if Franklin were allowed to act without limitation, conflict itself would lose meaning. The Darkest Knight, Batman as the end of all stories. The Darkest Knight is not merely a powerful villain. He is the concept of Batman corrupted into a multiversal apocalypse. Originating as the Batman who laughs, this version of Bruce Wayne fused Joker's madness with Batman's strategic brilliance. During the events of Dark Knight's Death Metal, he ascended even further by stealing the powers of Dr. Manhattan, becoming the Darkest Knight. This transformation elevated him beyond gods, beyond timelines, and beyond morality itself. With Dr. Manhattan's abilities, the Darkest Knight gained complete control over time, matter, probability, and narrative structure. He could erase entire realities with a thought, reset multiversal timelines, and manipulate events across infinite worlds simultaneously. What makes him truly dangerous is not raw power alone, but intent. The Darkest Knight does not seek balance or order. He seeks the collapse of meaning itself. He weaponizes inevitability, breaking heroes psychologically before destroying their worlds. He understands stories, archetypes, and weaknesses on a meta level. Where Franklin imagines futures, the Darkest Knight deletes them. Reality warping versus reality ownership. At first glance, this battle appears evenly matched. Both characters possess reality-altering abilities on a multiversal scale. Both can manipulate time, space, causality, and probability with ease. Both exist beyond conventional gods and cosmic entities. However, the true difference between them is not how much reality they can change, but where their authority over reality begins. The Darkest Knight's abilities, while godlike, still operate within an existing structure of existence. His power was taken, enhanced, and corrupted, but it remains fundamentally reactive. He bends, erases, and reshapes realities that already exist. His strength lies in domination over creation, not authorship of it. Franklin Richards, by contrast, does not manipulate reality from within its rules. He defines the rules themselves. His power does not require destruction, conflict, or resistance to activate. Franklin's imagination functions as a foundational force, capable of generating entire universes complete with their own timelines, physical laws, metaphysical hierarchies, and cosmic constants. Where the darkest night sees reality as something to be broken, Franklin experiences it as something that can be rewritten at the conceptual level. He does not need to defeat an enemy directly. He can simply author a reality in which that enemy no longer holds relevance. Even Dr. Manhattan's perception of time, which allows simultaneous awareness of past, present, and future, still exists within a defined framework of cause and effect. That framework can be observed, manipulated, and reset. Franklin Richards can rewrite the framework itself. He can alter the starting conditions of existence so completely that outcomes become inevitable before conflict even begins. In such a scenario, strategy, foresight, and omniscience lose their advantage, because the battlefield has already been decided. Destruction, no matter how absolute, can only function after creation. An eraser requires something written before it can be used. No matter how powerful the darkest night becomes, his power depends on the presence of reality to oppose. Franklin's power does not. He represents authorship rather than opposition. At the highest tier of power scaling, this distinction is everything. Reality warping can change what exists. Reality ownership determines why it exists in the first place. And in that domain, Franklin Richards operates on a level that destruction alone can never truly reach. Final verdict: who is stronger? In a short confrontation driven by fear, chaos, and psychological warfare, the darkest night could dominate the opening phase of this battle. His greatest weapon is not raw power, but psychological inevitability. He understands how heroes think, how hope fractures under pressure, and how narratives collapse when certainty replaces belief. His omniversal awareness, combined with Batman's strategic brilliance and Joker's cruelty, would allow him to attack Franklin Richards not physically, but emotionally. He would attempt to destabilize Franklin's imagination, because imagination is the gateway to Franklin's power. In these early moments, confusion and hesitation could give the darkest night a temporary upper hand. However, this advantage is fundamentally unstable. The darkest night's dominance relies on fear, escalation, and reaction. Franklin Richards' power, by contrast, does not peak quickly. It compounds endlessly. Once Franklin acts with clarity, confidence, and intent, the nature of the confrontation changes entirely. In a prolonged or unrestricted scenario, Franklin does not need to engage in combat, strategy, or resistance. He does not need to outthink the darkest night. He simply decides. He decides the rules under which power functions. He decides whether time moves forward, backward, or not at all. He decides whether conflict is even possible within the reality they occupy. At this level of power, battles are no longer contests of strength, but statements of authority. The darkest night represents the end of stories, the collapse of meaning, and the inevitability of decay. He is an ending given form. Franklin Richards represents what exists beyond endings. He represents renewal, continuation, and authorship. Where the darkest night erases futures, Franklin creates new ones. Where one ends narratives, the other writes new frameworks in which narratives can begin again. In the highest tier of power comparison, creation always outranks destruction. Destruction can dominate within a system, but creation defines the system itself. Without narrative suppression, emotional limitation, or external restraints imposed by storytelling necessity, Franklin Richards exists on a level that makes opposition irrelevant. He is not just stronger in scale or scope. He is fundamental to existence itself. Final winner, Franklin Richards. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.